Welcome to Creative Living, where we help you live your most creative life. I'm Jane Klaus. Travel seems to be within reach for so many of us as vaccinations ramp up across the country. So today, we're talking about how to travel once again. But before we get started, let's see what's coming up on the show. A trip to Nevada to see all they have to offer off the Strip. We talked to a company helping people take the frustrations out of technology. And Mr. Sizzle shows us the best cuts of meat to get from a butcher. All that and more coming up on this episode of Creative Living. Now that the COVID vaccine is here and restrictions are starting to be lifted, it seems like travel may be possible again. Joining us today to talk about venturing out into the world is Aldo Vasquez from the AAA. Hi, Aldo.
Hey, how's it going?
So great to see you and so excited to talk about travel. Have you been finding that people are starting to travel again or at least plan for future travel?
Yeah, so here at AAA, we are starting to see some growing optimism, especially around the vaccine rollout. And especially as more Americans are getting vaccinated, we are seeing an increase in people traveling. March 2021, so just last month, was the highest that we've seen since February 2019 for online travel bookings.
So although last year when we spoke, the road trip was very popular, what types of travel are people looking at this year?
We're 1 year into the pandemic now, and we're starting to see travel get back to pre-COVID levels. So we're starting to see people hitting the skies a little bit more. And we're seeing a huge influx in people booking flights, which has increased the demand for car rentals. And believe it or not, people are actually also booking cruises when those start picking up again. We anticipate travel will only increase in the coming months, especially as we get closer to Memorial Day weekend.
So Aldo, what trends are you seeing with travel bookings?
So we are seeing travelers get a little bit more confidence in booking their travel plans and making those travel plans. During the pandemic, we noticed that people were making their travel plans maybe 3 days to a week before hitting the road. And that went to the growing hesitancy of people not knowing whether there would be new restrictions going up or there would be new quarantine requirements going up. So now what we're seeing is people are planning their trips 14 to 30 days out, which goes to show us that people have that confidence that they will be able to go on that trip regardless of what's going on with the pandemic and getting back out there and enjoying their vacations.
So what types of destinations are people booking?
Outside of the United States, Mexico continues to be the top destination. And when it comes to popularity, it really comes down to the kind of experience that people are looking to have. Now that we're getting back to, a sense of normalcy, those bigger populous cities are starting to become a big hit. Las Vegas continues to be the number one destination, and it has been throughout most of the pandemic. Then we see cities like San Diego, Los Angeles, Phoenix, and Reno rounding out the top 5.
I love that. A sense of normalcy is music to my ears, Aldo. Thank you for saying that. Are there any restrictions that we should be aware of before we start traveling?
It's very important for people to continue to focus on making sure that they understand the state and local guidance that may be going on. So following state and local health departments for any kind of restrictions and protocols, and knowing exactly what's in place for where you are, where you're going, and anywhere along your route. The CDC continues to recommend people get COVID tests before and after the trip.
Well, it sure is exciting to think about getting back out there and traveling again. Any last words of wisdom or advice before we hit the road?
Yeah, right now, working with a travel agent is probably the best thing you can possibly do. They are your biggest advocate and the best resource for travel information because they're so plugged into the industry and they know what's happening as things are turning and changing on a dime. And working with a AAA travel agent is probably the smartest thing you can do right now when planning your trip during a pandemic.
Great information. Thank you so much, Aldo.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. All right, if you want more travel tips, just head to the AAA website. If you're looking for a great getaway, Nevada is the place to be. So let's see all they have to offer. When you're thinking road trips, Las Vegas is at the top of the list. But I'm here to tell you there's a lot more to Nevada than the bright lights of the Strip. Vegas is a perfect home base for the Neon to Nature road trip. Our first of 3 legs, the Red Rockin' Loop, named for the spectacular views at Red Rock Canyon and Spring Mountain Ranch State Park. It's the perfect place to get outside. Whether you're into hiking, biking, or simply sightseeing, this loop winds through one of the most breathtaking corners of the Silver State. Continue south for a short 5-minute drive to Spring Mountain Ranch State Park. This state park gets up close and personal with the same stunning scenery, but with a fraction of the crowd, making it at least as enjoyable, if not more, than its better-known neighbor. Next up on the Neon to Nature road trip is the Fire and Water Loop, which takes us north from Vegas to Nevada's oldest and most popular state park, Valley of Fire. Here, you'll see some of the most amazing landscapes. Arrive early in the morning when the sunrise illuminates the red and orange rocks and wildlife. Then we turn south to visit Lake Mead. If you're into skiing, boating, or fishing the cool water of the country's largest water reservoir at over 120 miles long, this is sure to be a must-stop. And finally, the Colorado River Corridor, which starts with a chance to check out the awesomeness of the Hoover Dam. The sheer power of the structure is unbelievable. Constructed from 1931 to 1936 during the Great Depression, and dedicated by President Franklin D. Roosevelt. There's plenty more to do as you work your way south along the Colorado River, with stops in 2 of my favorite Nevada towns, charming Boulder City and the action-packed Laughlin. I hope you enjoyed learning about a few of the great adventures Nevada has to offer on this Nevada road trip. There sure is a lot more to see in the state, but the Neon to Nature road trip is perfect when you want to head out and go exploring. So no matter what road trip you want to take, no matter what direction you decide to go, all you have to do is ask yourself one question.
Are you ready? Are you ready to go? 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 Go, 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 go. Go, go, are you ready to go?
Domestic travel is at an all-time high since most international trips aren't possible yet. So think about planning a trip for the family to one of our national parks that you've always wanted to see. It'll be a ton of fun and a great family experience. Stick around, we've got more to come on Creative Living. We go to Midwestern Meats to see the benefits of getting your meat from a butcher. And if you're fed up with your computer, we have a company that can stop your frustration.
For more exclusive videos highlighting your community, visit yourview.com.
We take a trip to Midwestern Meats to see the benefits of shopping at a butcher and the variety of their products.
Hello everybody, my name is Rod. I'm the owner of Midwestern Meats and we are at our butcher shop, first class, one-of-a-kind butcher shop here in Mesa, Arizona. Here at Midwestern Meats, what we offer, we're very proud of our quality, of our butcher shop, and our service. So you get 2 beautiful things when you walk in here. Our product, we get our beef from the Midwest. Everything's first class. We age our beef. It's cut to specifications. It's trimmed perfectly. We grind all our hamburger here. We make all our sausage here. And you get the service that you deserve when you walk into a business. And if you need something special, you talk to the meat guys, and guess what? They'll do anything for you. There's no rules at Midwestern Meats. That's what's so fun about it. You know, the benefits of shopping at Midwestern Meats, it's simply the service. You walk in here and you see what we have. We have a big 40-foot butcher case, all the product you might want, but there's a lot of other things. So you talk to the guys in the back and they'll cut a steak for you the way you want it. They'll do things the way you want it. We'll go order things if someone wants something special. But as important, the value of the meat. It's not always the pricing of the meat, it's the value of the meat. When you get that hamburger, it's ground every day, it's fresh. That steak you get, when you order 5 steaks, you get 5 perfect steaks. So the value of the meat when you shop at a butcher shop at Midwestern Meats, very, very important. You know, at Midwestern Meats, we offer all the steak options. You can get T-bones and porterhouse, New York strips, ribeyes, bone-in ribeyes. But the difference at Midwestern Meats, what we do, we age our beef. So everything's aged for 30 days. We sit it in the back for 3 weeks. We age it. What that does, it makes it more flavorful and makes it more tender. There's 2 unique items that really come to mind when I'm talking about Midwestern Meats. Number 1, a stuffed burger. You've probably seen stuffed burgers, but you haven't seen our stuffed burgers. So we take 2 patties, we take all the fillings, the cheese, the bacon, the mushrooms, they're all inside the burger. So you get this big old burger. It looks kind of like a hockey puck, big old fat burger. And imagine you bite it and everything's in the middle. Unbelievable. We started doing it for the Arizona Cardinals. We've been doing it for years now. Second item that really comes to mind is our own baby back rib. You can get baby back ribs anywhere, right? Well, we cut our own off our own pork loin, and the difference is big old thick piece of meat running across that rib. Once you try our own baby back ribs, you'll never try anything else. I give you some good advice how to pick the right butcher. Google Midwestern Meats. That's how you pick the right butcher in the area. Okay, everybody, so listen, Midwestern Meats, 4308 East Main Street in Mesa. You can come here. We're open 6 days a week. Our website, midwesternmeats.com. We deliver everywhere in the valley. We come to your front door with the product. So check us out online, midwesternmeats.com. Give us a call. Come in and see how beautiful it is. And all I want you to do, everybody, eat better.
If you don't know a Zoom from a Skype, well, you're not alone. All of this technology can be very complicated. And the folks at Groovy Tech have made it their mission to take the frustration out of tech.
Groovy Tech got started because we realized that there was an opportunity to be able to provide a service for folks and develop a resource for people to be able to turn to for patient and respectful help navigating their technology. We realized that the days of user manual and friendly help appear to be behind us. Groovy Tech offers services all anchored around the fact that we would like to be able to empower folks to be able to use technology independently and on their own terms. We offer in-home as well as over the phone one-on-one personal technology training sessions. Some of the ways we've been able to help folks during the pandemic have been working with people to be able to use communication applications more frequently and easily. So we work with folks with Zoom. We have an entire program dedicated to working from home and helping people make those adjustments, as well as staying at home. So if you're looking for help, ordering food, procuring services, staying informed and entertained, we've helped a lot of people with that during the pandemic. I will say that what went from sort of an elective notion of becoming more comfortable with your technology prior to the pandemic, we've really seen it become more and more essential for people to be able to navigate technology during these times. Groovy Tech works to take the frustration away from interfacing with technology. We'll work with people and teach them how to use different applications that they're being asked to use more and more these days, such as Zoom or FaceTime. And what's great is when you're working independently and one-on-one with a trainer, there's no stupid questions. There's no worry about, oh, do I have to ask this or do I have to learn this right away? We work with you individually, one-on-one, and we really do just go towards the same goals, and we don't come in with a specific agenda or timetable. The profile of a typical Groovy Tech client is, it's kind of hard to pigeonhole one way or the other, but I will say that we work with a lot of people who have experienced tremendous success in their life, and at this point they don't know who to turn to without maybe getting an eye roll or maybe being made to feel inadequate in that space. So it's really people, we have clients that have been heads of law firms, CEOs of companies, lots of different prestigious positions, but the commonality is that there's a desire to connect and to understand how to utilize technology independently and on their own terms. Groovy Tech has many different opportunities for training sessions and programs. For example, our 3-for-2 program is very, very popular and very, very well received because we're able to work with somebody for at least 3 hours in different sessions. And in doing that, you develop momentum, you're able to move on, you're able to tackle frustrations, and ultimately move to a place of much more comfort interfacing with your technology. You can get in touch with Groovy Tech any time of the day if you go to groovytechwithak.com. We also have an incredible dedicated customer care team. They are all always very friendly, and they can help you through any of the options, any of the scheduling, any questions you may have that are all related to how to get into the mix and start working with the Groovy Tech family.
RV trips have become very popular for family travel. In fact, RV rentals have increased more than 100% since the start of the pandemic. So if you're planning a trip on the open road, you should consider booking your RV well in advance. Let's see what's around the bend on Creative Living. We're taking an adventurous deep sea fishing trip and building a home to fit your needs. If you'd like a getaway filled with adventure and built-in social distancing, then deep sea fishing might be the perfect vacation for you.
San Diego is a great place for deep sea fishing because it's home of the largest sport fishing fleet in the world. You can go on a half-day trip, a full-day trip, a multi-day trip, all the way up to 18 days to catch tuna and wahoo, or just locally here to catch yellowtail. When booking a deep sea fishing excursion out of San Diego, there's several resources, and of course, the San Diego landings have great web pages. Seaforthlanding.com, fishermanslanding.com, PointLomaSportFishing.com are the perfect resource to book your next fishing vacation out of San Diego. What you need to do to have fun in the sun while you're out fishing is, of course, you'll have to obtain a California fishing license or a Mexican fishing license, depending on where the trip goes, and then get set up with tackle. All the landings have all the tackle for rental, and they'll give you all the guidance on the boat for catching a lot of fish here in San Diego. All right, let's say you're going out on a full day boat. You're gonna go out, get your tackle at the landing. They'll set you all up with that. You'll get on the boat, generally with about 36 other people, and then you'll head out to sea. Hopefully you pick the right day. I use windy.com to predict the wind conditions, and that's a good way to make sure that you go out on the right day so it's not too rough. And then you'll just go out and follow the guidance of the deckhands on the boat. They'll fully guide you, they'll tie your knots. You'll go get live bait at the bait receiver, live sardines generally, and you'll go out to the fishing grounds, come back on a full day trip that afternoon, early evening, and hopefully with a lot of fish to take home with you. What you should wear out on the water when you're fishing here in San Diego, layers. And that's the key, because you're probably not going to get very wet because you're going to go out on a nice day, but just be prepared for layers because it can get pretty cool on the water. You know, summertime is always the best, from I would say June through September, but prime months actually in San Diego, September, October are probably the two prime months. Best water conditions and probably the most abundance of fish. So as far as taking your fish home, they'll fillet the fish for you on the boat and put it into a package for you, or you can use one of the local processors like Fisherman's Processing that'll vacuum seal and freeze your fish so that you can put it in your cooler and take it home and eat it.
If we've reeled you into the excitement of deep sea fishing, then you can catch Pete's segment each Friday on Kaplan and Crew Tonight, airing on YourView California, or you can stream it on YourView's sports YouTube channel. Don't go anywhere. Creative Living has much more coming your way. We visit with Manual Builders to see the latest in home building. Manual Builders is a staple in Louisiana, and this family-owned company is at the forefront of home building.
My name is Missy Manuel, and I'm co-owner of Manual Builders. My husband Greg and I have a residential building company that's been in business over 55 years. We focus on custom on your lot and residential in subdivisions, speculative homes. Our core values are community, integrity, and excellence, and those are really important to us. We believe and love people, and we love building homes, safe places for them to do life and make memories.
Many builders really caters to everyone. We have couples that come in and they're trying to downsize. We have first-time home buyers. We have families that are, they're growing. They've outgrown their first home and they're trying to build something that's going to fit their whole family and everybody have their own bedroom. We try to cater to all types of homeowners.
The three things that come to mind that a client should know about themselves when wanting to build a new home would be: 1. Do making decisions come easy to you? There are tons of decisions that will need to be made along the way, so knowing if you may need guidance would definitely help you find the builder right for you. 2. What is your lifestyle? How will the home contribute to your day-to-day life, and how will it enhance the way you function in the space? Lastly, what are your essentials? As in, what is your must-have list? What features and elements are important to you and will make your home unique to who you are and match how you live?
For homeowners that are looking to build a custom home, I would say that we are definitely a fit for you. We offer tons of options and everything is located in our design center, so that way it's a seamless and easy process for you and less stressful.
This may sound a bit unusual, but my absolute favorite space to design is the living room, primarily because it's the heart of the home and there are so many things to consider. Living rooms are used to entertain and socialize with friends, yet it's also a place of refuge for individuals and family members to rest and relax from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. Elements such as lighting, views in and out of the space, and the overall layout are all important to making this space feel a certain way. Tailoring that correctly to each homeowner is always very important to me.
It's so important for us to connect with the homeowners on a personal level, so that way we can really understand how they live and what they need in their new home.
I would think that anytime someone decides to build, they're really looking to create their forever home. Something that really speaks to who they are and something that they can create that really works well for their family and their way of life.
When a customer walks into their home for the first time, I want them to be able to see the craftsmanship, and I want them to feel like they're walking into their dream home for the first time.
Thank you so much for joining us right here on Creative Living. I'm Jane Klaus, and I'll see you next time.